Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Auto Amateur, and as you may have guessed, I'm not coming to you from the snow and ice of Minnesota. I'm in the desert with a cactus behind me, kind of feeling like I'm in a Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon. So yeah, let's go check it out. Hey guys, well let me start by saying I wasn't planning on making a video. I'm actually on holiday in Arizona, just outside of Phoenix, with my wife and my 3 children. My parents have come in from England. Her parents spend a couple of months down here every year. Snowbirding is what they call it, I guess, trying to escape the winter for a couple of months. We're here for 2 weeks. I didn't really bring any of my camera equipment, even though I did bring my drone. And I've been driving my truck around, and you know, it's all fun and games until you figure, I just need to get back into a Porsche. So here I am very lucky today to be driving a 2012 Panamera 4. And I think this is the most I've spent with this particular model driving and checking it out. So I thought, you know, why not make a video? Now for the Panamera lovers out there, couple of spoilers, it's okay. I'm not gonna trash it, but well, let's get into it. Some quick highlights for a small car. 2011 20 time frame headlights, actually pretty nice. Contours on the hood, actually pretty nice. The look at the front of the car, actually pretty nice. The silhouette of the car, actually pretty nice. The wheels, dope. Look at those black wheels. I like them a lot. The big red caliper, what's not to like? Cool vent in the door. Not too bad, pretty cool. Now let's start getting to the back of the car. Again, the traditional Porsche silhouette is still here in the Panamera. The back looks good. Tail lights, not my favorite, but again, they look pretty good. Let's take a look at the ass, because we all like a good booty shot. Again, pretty good. So far, you know, I like the exterior. I think it looks sleek. I think it looks cool. Let's take a look at the interior. It's nice. It's a Porsche interior. Look, it's black on black. Unfortunately, this is the ugly steering wheel. It's not the PDS. Sorry, it's not the GTS sports steering wheel. You got the classic instrument cluster. You've got all the usual stuff you'd expect. In fact, you would be forgiven if you thought this was a Cayenne. You would be forgiven if you thought this was a Macan, even a 991, because of course it looks very similar. So what's wrong with this thing? Okay, so let's start with the obvious. It's not a sports car. It's not a sports car. I can see why some people might argue that the new electric Taycan is a sports car, even though I still don't think that's true. But the way that EV handles, the way that it feels inside the cockpit, the speed and the power it has, I could be persuaded maybe that is a sports car. This one definitely isn't. It is a bit dull, to be perfectly honest with you. Grr. Now, you know, all the Panamera owners out there, don't start getting you back up and having a go at me or you know, disliking the video, because I am going to say some really good things about this car. But to those thinking that this is the sporty version of a sedan, it kind of is, but it's not a sports car. It's definitely not a 911. You don't get that classic Porsche 911 experience, but you do get to drive around a fancy sedan with a Porsche logo on the front. So it can't all be bad, right? Well, that's true. This has got 300 horses and it goes from 0 to 60 in about 4.7 seconds. Now, that doesn't sound particularly exciting, but if you think about the 997, if you think about the 991 that put out 325 or 350 horses respectively, they go from 0 to 60 in 3.7 to 4 seconds. So it's not too far behind where the 911s are of this sort of era, the kind of, you know, mid 2000s, early 2010s. But still, 4.7 is not, you know, something to get so excited about. It has a V6 engine as opposed to a flat 6 engine. The engine's in the front instead of the back. So, you know, there are already too many things here that are just starting to scream, it's not a Porsche sports car to me. And I think it's probably obvious to anybody that it isn't a sports car. But, you know, having said that, it is a lot of fun to drive. The lower end torque pulling off the line is a bit basic, to be honest. And even with this PDK transmission and even with the sports button on, it takes a second to kind of kick in, and it's not that exhilarating. But once you're getting up into the sort of 3,000 or 4,000 RPM range, escape mode activated. You're on a highway, you're trying to pass somebody, you're trying to, you know, get around or pull away from someone. That's where the fun really starts to kick in. On the road, pulling away from people at speed, ducking and diving in and out of traffic. That's where the fun is. But in a straight line, it's boring. Off the line, it's boring. But it's comfortable and it's got a Porsche logo on. So what more do you want? So that's it for this holiday episode from Auto Amateur. I'm going to get out of the sun before my gingerness catches on fire, even though it's only about 75 degrees here today. And more Project 996 content coming soon. The engine is on its way from the West Coast. It is being shipped via freight. It should be arriving at Porsche Minneapolis anytime now. The transmission's already there. So in the next couple of weeks, it's going to start getting really exciting for Project 996. And then I'm getting the seats back next week and the steering wheel. Hopefully it's all going to come together and be back on the road at some point in March. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. And then I get April to shake it out, and I then get May to go and drive the Rocky Mountains. In fact, coming pretty close back to here. Thanks for checking out the video. If you haven't yet checked out the new Curb Canyon podcast from myself and Andy Gaunt over at Last Rasp, please do. We've had a ton of great feedback so far. We're about 6 episodes in. We've got more in the pipeline. It is a lot of fun to listen to, admittedly, even though I'm on it, but I do listen to my own podcast. Anyway, that's awkward. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Bye.